Hey, what is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you live right now. It is 3:40 Best Coast time. We are watching some Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. I was attempting to go live on two things at once. As you can see here, I have my iPad, and this is supposed to go out to our friends on Instagram. And then for whatever reason, it just reset. So it goes to show you that even being responsible does not always work. Anyway, so we have some things to cover. We're going to get to that in a second, but I want to make sure we do it at a time that is befitting. Watch along. So go ahead and hit me in the comment section. Let me know how you're thinking, how you're feeling. Again, lots to comment about today already, and it hasn't been that long. Come say hi. Nope, not trying to add that. Anyway, I think the first thing that we should probably address, because it is the most pressing at this point, is the fact that Damien Anderson killed a guy. Did you guys see that? Did you? Oh. Well, that's disappointing. We have just learned that we have been blocked from going live. So I should explain this. And now I actually realize I should be bitching about this. The other day, we shared a meme, and it would appear that that meme has taken away some of our privileges. And the meme, if I am quoting this one correctly, and let me see if I am, it was essentially saying, like, one of the ways to get out of debt is just to die. And it was essentially a reshare. And they told that went against their community standards. So I'm not quite sure if dying to get out of debt paying is something that they're not a fan of. But it certainly wasn't suggesting that any human person actually take up death. So there you have it. Good Lord. Oh my goodness. Now this thing is fighting with me. Well, this is making for compelling internet television, but you're joining us, and I'm very happy that you guys are here because, again, Damien Anderson, already the highlight of the show thus far in. The second match in the early stages, the very beginning of it all, still going on right now. I can't tell if Raphael's going to pass on, or is it... it looks like Raphael, because David Weintraub, if he is advancing, looks exhausted. And watching... Beltran trying to get his center so that he can raise a hand here is it's taking a little bit of time. But yeah, it does look like the person that is advancing in overtime is going to be announced here in just a second. My thanks to you if you're joining us right now. Again, CJJ Worlds. Also, they do have the Worlds. Oh, David is going to advance from Vitor Shaolin and Finishers MMA, so congratulations are in order for him. Yes, Worlds are going on for the IBJJF. I do not have that up on a stream. If you guys want to tell me what is happening, I'm happy to keep people abreast and inform people as we're going on. It's just there's too much content for today. So I'm just going to stick with what I can see. Come say hi. Add title. Good Lord. All right. Boom. Checking connection. About to go. We are now live. Hey, what is up, friends? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you live as Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds is happening right in front of us. So I hope that you guys are going to be staying with us. I hope that you're entertained. I hope that you're drinking something. I have something right here. I'll get to talking about it in just a second. In the meantime, lots to talk about. First and foremost, if you guys want to support us, go to check out our Hi page. That is hy.page, PAGE/Grappling Hour. And you can become a member and see early access to many of our interviews right now, including Gary Tonin, EBI winner, Alan Sanchez. Coming up this week, tomorrow actually, Andrew Wiltsey is going to be on there. Good friends of the show, Aaron McKenzie, UFC's Gifted Gabe Green, Andrew Dober. So we have a lot of stuff that's up there that's not just regular interviews. We have the normal hour-long interviews that we always do. But for these folks, we've also done a series called Opponent That I Respected the Most, which is a cool look into the mind of many of the athletes that are out there, as well as another segment that we like to call Minisodes with Tape Study. So we're doing tape studies with some of those fighters. We're watching the fights that they had and making some notes and learning from them about their craft and what made them able to win, and sometimes surprisingly insurmountable odds. So I hope that you guys are checking those things out. We are going to be keeping this party going on all night long. I hope that you guys are ready for a great night of matches. Mikey Rolls, aka Mikey Gonzalez, who had an impressive showing the last time at Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, is making his way back onto the stage. He's taking on Kieran Kirchuk, or Kieran Kirchuk? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Either way, perfectly fine. I'm going to go over the brackets just to let you guys know what we are in for this evening. But yes, Damien Anderson advanced. David Weintraub advanced. That's actually looking like a very favorable match now for Damien Anderson, who won in a short amount of time via strike KO, and it was a quite nasty KO, if you ask me. So there is that. Mikey Gonzalez, though, he's one of those people, I know that he has a lot of competitive experience, but he's training up north here in California, and the dude is just always money to watch compete. He was actually scheduled to have a super fight against one of my homies, and actually based off of one of these competitions, a Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, was unable to do it. And it actually spared me from having to root against him because I generally like the guy. He's a friend of the show. So watching him do his thing right now, jostling for position, going back and forth on a collar tie, is already good business. They center back over to the middle of the mats as Beltran gives them a little bit of a warning because it looks like we're about to get to the get down rule. Now, as we go one further down on this list, it does look like the next match that's coming up is going to be Ethan Crelinsten versus Adrian Luna. Now, that could set up something potentially in the future, but Craig Jones, according to the broadcast, has put out a bounty on his two B team members, that is Ethan Crelinsten and Damien Anderson, saying that the winner, somebody who can beat them, he will give that winner $1,500, putting bounties on their heads. What is up? Good sir, good to see you. But yeah, it's not unusual. Craig Jones is kind of a goofy dude. Definitely uses a lot of humor and nonsense to keep his guys entertained and also very motivated, one might say. So we'll see how that one plays out. Elsewhere on the right side of the bracket, fan favorite Keith Krikorian versus Jan Majualento. And then you've got Jordan Holley versus Mikey Zindler, Jim Allers versus Diego Lopez, and Nathan Orchard versus Trent Irab. So a little bit of stuff still left in the future for us. Again, if you guys want to hit me with a like and a share, we will be sure to give you a toast on air, just like we do those people who get finishes within regulation. And yes, there are going to be some folks who we will be giving some cheers and toasts to. Because, surprise here, we mentioned the Damien Anderson toast, so we're going to have to get on that one shortly. Meanwhile, very much looking forward to you guys interacting, chatting with us, talking with us, all of that good jazz. So keep us abreast and informed. So yes, you may notice I'm actually double fisting here. Beer in one hand, LaCroix in other words, because you got to keep your water intake high. Mikey was trying for a double underhook sweep and ended up getting passed. Now almost out of desperation, for a split second thought about going from underneath to get hit Ezekiel, but underneath in combat jiu-jitsu is not exactly where you want to be. His opponent is now throwing in slaps. Mikey's having to cover up, giving up a little bit of his face, maybe exposing his back. What is up, Todd Lee? I hope that you were smiling, because you're never smiling in your photos. But Jesus Christ, now looks like he's starting to get flattened out here. This is a bad position to be in with 7:20 left to go. What is up, Jack Hempfling? Good to see you. What is up, Imirobara? We're watching us some Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. And yes, it does look like Kieran is trying to secure a rear naked choke here. Was just over the chin. Not quite hitting it, but he's got plenty of time. Readjusts. This is not looking good. Mikey is trying to use both hands to prop up the elbow. Does temporarily get out of it, but then takes a few slaps while in a body triangle. This is literally retracts into a bad position with more slaps getting rained in. And from this position, Kieran actually looks like he could potentially get a KO with that much time in a body triangle that it does not look like Mikey is getting out of anytime soon. So, eek. This will be very interesting to see the long-term version of how this plays out. If you guys are just joining us, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday, a beautiful Sunday. What's up, Bobby? And yeah, it's entirely possible you're going to see this one stopped. Mikey is taking far too many slaps and has very little recourse, but Beltran is not exactly compelled to stop it, and he does get the tap. Congratulations to Kieran, who is going to advance. Bobby, I miss you too, brother. Best friend, Bobby, coming to say hello. It is always good to see him. Always good to see things that are going on. And yeah, I mean, it's a good time to be a Maverick. What is up, Chad? Hope you're doing well, brother. By the way, you got to stop making... Oh, yeah, of course. The slap man himself, of course. See, when other people see a hand like this from anybody else, they're not that scared. If I see it from Chad, I'm like, that man can actually slap people. I've seen him do it. It looks like it hurts a lot. I was going to say, Chad, you got to stop making George so good. Your boy George, Ho-Jitsu. This jiu-jitsu is so good, man. I always love training with them. One of my hardest roles, so compliments to the chef. Maverick says hi. Hey, man, it's a good time to be anything associated with combat jiu-jitsu, but even better to be Top Gun. I love hearing the reviews of this movie are so good, especially for somebody like my best friend Bobby over here, because I know how much Bobby loves Top Gun. I have yet to see the movie, but I am very excited to see it. So that is what's going on. But it's a great day for grappling, checking this all out. Yeah, that actually does count. That counts as a finish. So let's get caught up here. We're going to do a couple cheers. This first toast goes on out to Damien Anderson. Bro, didn't know you had it in you. You were putting out some funny videos of you walking around and hitting people with slaps. Turns out you actually could. The whole video is a lie. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, you sold us. You sold us wolf tickets, and yet here you are getting knockouts. Cheers to you, Damien. I hope you do well in this tournament. Don't ever slap me. It's just, please don't. All right, we'll do one for Kieran in a second. We're going to take our time in between these matches because we're not going anywhere. We're still in the first round of combat, and things are going very, very well thus far in. So, Ethan Crelinsten versus Adrian Luna. Crelinsten is one of the people that I think has a very good chance of making it out of this. This is the question. Will B Team go to slap each other? Because it's highly likely that Damien Anderson, especially given a very tired David Windrop, could advance. Ethan Crelinsten, odds-on favorite to be one of the people to do very well in this tournament. If those two go against each other, I know that they're all for shits and giggles over at B Team, but are they actually going to go out and start slapping each other? That is a big question that I don't know that we're going to get an actual answer to. So just to let you guys know, keep that in mind as we are watching us some combat jiu-jitsu here today. What is up, good sir? Good to see you, my man. Appreciate you coming through. I'm going to go ahead and give some shout outs over this way. I did just see we got it. Oh, look at this. Life of George C just gave us a share, so we got to give him a cheers. Yo, Life of George C, you're one of the best people that I know. You're always interacting with us. Excellent jiu-jitsu commentary, except for one thing. You said Bret Hart is trash. And for that, you'll never be in my inner circle. You'll never be in my heel stable. Everybody knows Bret Hart, greatest of all time. I can hear your Shawn Michaels argument. Just not for me. Anyway, cheers. All right. Back to work. Like if George C, come get some. All right, we are already off to the races. Ethan Crelinsten coming in with aggressive anger passing and very long hair for the very, very game Ethan Crelinsten. You can tell that he definitely has an axe to grind on this one. He is a man who has done very well. I think he'd like to etch his name on as a winner for this one. Adrian Luna turning his back against Ethan in regulation. I know they're resetting the position, but that's not something that I would really think is a good plan, especially for the fact here that, Ethan's been getting stronger lately and concerning stronger. He was already really good at jiu-jitsu, but this dude is now trying to win, miniature bodybuilding competitions? Not necessary. All right. Thank you, Life of George C. Appreciate that. Just gave you another cheers and took care of you. If you guys are watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, drop us a line in the comment section. If you want to get a toast, just like we just did for Life of George C., give us a like and a share. It is that easy. And Ethan Crelinsten, from the back mount, is now just starting to unload on his opponent. He's got to be careful that he's not hitting the back of the head, but he is getting the sides. Opponent's starting to cover up. Not much opportunity for him to go here. I don't think Ethan wants to actually get a submission. It seems like he wants a stoppage in that same way Damien got one. And what's interesting about that is he has all the opportunity to get a rear naked choke here, and he may have to opt to one. Almost falls off the side of the mats, but they restrain him. What is up, La Barbara? And what is up, Drawn to Drew? What kind of Instagram name is Drawn to Drew? Interesting. Some of you guys pick names that are almost straight out of an AOL chat room from ages ago. Children would not understand that. You kids with your internet and your swipes. All right, Ethan, now with body triangle. Ooh, Adrian does almost find his way out of it, but Ethan readjusts, comes through with some strikes. There's a hand posted here, but these are heavy strikes. I mean, Ethan, if he's not trying to go into MMA, this is going to be what he's trying to show is his MMA version. And yes, this looks good. He gets the tap on Adrian, who looks way more pleased to have to tap than to get knocked out, which I guess if you have to choose between the two, you probably want to choose just tapping, because we've seen what's happened earlier in the day. Nobody really wants to be knocked out as a highlight reel on this thing. So there you have it. Beltran brings them on over. Let's do some toasts here. I want to go ahead and take care of Ethan in a second, but first we got to actually double back and do one. What is up, Milestone 2300? Good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. We're watching us some Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. All right, this cheers goes on out to Kieran. Kieran, congratulations to you on getting it done within regulation here. Mikey Gonzalez, very difficult opponent, but man, you were on top of that one. Big congrats to you. Really fun to see. Cheers. Keep up the good work, sir. All right. I'm going to see what note we just got here. Oh, look at this. Getting retweets from friends of the show. You got yourself some Lorelai's coming out this way. Let's give it to Lorelai's 10p. I always love that. You are always so nice to us. This cheers is going out to Laura. Laura, thank you so much for keeping everybody posted. That was a hell of a slap, and you were the first person to report it on my news feed, which means I give you all the credit. But cheers to you. Thank you so much for the retweet. We appreciate you and all the hard work you do on reporting. I only see so many people on every single event busting their ass, and especially even for now, the Ultimate Grappler on Flow Grappling. You're killing it. Keep up the good work. Cheers to you. If you guys want to cheers or toast like that, all you have to do is like and share our show. And if I miss it, be sure to hit me in my DMs or my comment section. I'm doing my best to keep an idea on everything that's going. We got a Keith Krikorian alert. He is coming up right now, representing 10th Planet Freaks, going up against Jean Master Lorenzo. Is that what his name says? Because I'm not going to give that another attempt. I'm just going to say Gian. Nod. And go. It says here, Ethan started a TriStar for MMA, so I'm sure he knows a thing or two about ground or pound. I mean, obviously, yes. When one of your idols and your fellow countrymen is GSP, you're going to go out there and try and make a show of it. It was just really intense even for Ethan. Ethan is not what I would call a timid grappler, but that was something to behold. I can't tell if it's just the game plan for the B team people, if he saw that that Damien got a slap knockout and he wants to be competitive with him. Hard to say, but yes, thank you for the comment, Cash Standing. Appreciate you, brother. And congratulations on graduating, sir. Very happy for you, despite the fact that you're sometimes a shit human being. A+. All right, Keith Krikorian on the mats right now, 10 minutes to go. His opponent already pulling guard, trying to sweep into the legs. Doesn't get much there. Now Keith is going to be able to work some passing. Grabbing the legs, starting to Wheel of Fortune him around. Keith is already essentially passed, but you can see his opponent Gian already starting to try and level him down. He does knock down Keith temporarily, but with this underhook on the leg, Keith may be willing to bait out part of it. I thought the leg might be a little more trapped, but he was using a little bit of an unconventional De La Hiva to make things work for him. So that is what we've got going on right now. What is up, average grappler? Good to see you. I hope you guys are having a great day. Milestone, Roberto, you're still with us. Appreciate you, brother. We appreciate all of you guys who are going to be watching along with us. Jan was really trying for a closed triangle here or an arm bar, but it's hard to submit Keith. So it is good to see him out here going aggressively. I have to say this about Keith. If you know that you are not the odds-on favorite, you're the underdog here, and you know that you've got a former champion, you do have to go out aggressive. I do get that much. So I can compliment him for bringing the fight to Keith. The problem is, it's still Keith Krikorian, who now just remembered you could slap people. And the last time that Keith remembered he could slap people, I don't want to say that people were fucked up, but he started to truly assess his dark Jedi powers. So proceed with caution, everybody, I guess is what I'm trying to say to you all. Having said that, it is a little bit of a surprise to see Keith having such great success, considering that he was one of those guys who, never really thought this was going to be where he was going to compete at. So I'm just saying it is one of those things you can always appreciate that man. And here's the good news. His opponent right now, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. This is very interesting to see from Gian. Gian almost allowing Keith to pass. Keith takes a moment, and it looks like each time he's just trying to attack the leg of Keith. And there is a heel hook opportunity here, but Keith reshoots on one of his own. It is interesting to see. His leg is actually fairly safe. It's Gian that ends up getting he ends up getting more than he bargained for, I guess is what you could say. You can see that Keith was able to rechamber that entirely. Gian is looking like it's a little rough for him to walk, and I get that much. We have to do a cheers for Keith, but we're going to come back. We didn't do one for Ethan, right? Tell me in the comment section. Short on memory at the moment. I don't think we did. I think we just did one for... Who was the last one? Kieran? You guys tell me. Oh, no. Life of George C., what the fuck are you doing? We just got a note from him that says, I could use it since I'm about to train with a ridiculous fucking sunburn. Bro, take the day off. It is not smart to drill on this day. Do not train. If you train on a day when you have a sunburn, it hurt. I speak from experience here, my friend. Do not power through that one. How the fuck y'all gonna make these dumb choices? This is what I hate seeing on the replays, is a dude who ends up losing the position that he was initiating and then getting surprised like, oh, right, Keith has leg locks. So, Gian, more power to you. You probably had a better role with Keith than I do. So, what do I know? But either way, Eek, what is up, Ron Braun? Yo, Ronnie, can we talk about Keith right now? Because holy shit, your boy did great. So, Ronnie, I have to ask, are you one of the people who's trying to slap Keith when he's getting ready for these things? Because if you are, I think part of that credit comes to you. If you hang around for a bit, you're going to see me give a cheers over to Keith. But first, we got to take care of Ethan Crelinsten. This cheers goes on out to Ethan Crelinsten. Bro, are you trying to fight MMA? Because it certainly looked like you were. I know you're all in love with the jiu-jitsu, but goddamn, you're starting to scare me, man. The way you went out there, the way you were attacking that, it was impressive. And it looked for a second you didn't want to choke that guy. Am I wrong here? It looked like you wanted to get a knockout. Is it because Damien got a knockout and you got competitive? I don't know these things. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is, cheers to you. It was still an incredibly dominant performance. I look forward to seeing what you got next round. He's killing it. He is killing it indeed. But it's kind of what you come to expect with Keith. Win or lose, Keith is always going to pour his heart out for you and give out a great showing. So all the appreciation in the world for that kid. And of course, our friends and family extended all the way down to San Diego. It says, Crelinsten went against a really good Mexico MMA fighter. Expected an MMA fight. Legitimately, I thought at a certain point he was going to try and find a cage to push him up against. So I get that. I'm still not 100% that aggressiveness wasn't just him being like, you know what, this is my opportunity to go for it. What is up, Eric Robles? Eric Robles and I had an amazing training session yesterday. My dude is a monster. No slaps on our end. I wouldn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Jordan Holy making quick work of his opponent. We'll give him a cheers and a toast in a second here. But if you guys want to get a toast, all you have to do is give us a like and a share on your social media. So take this broadcast, tell some people that you're watching it, share it on whatever social media you want. And if I don't see it, do me a solid, drop me a DM. I keep my eyes on the DMs as this is going. So here we go. Congrats to Jordan. We'll come to him in a second. But for you right now, this cheers, this toast goes on out to friend of the show, Keith Krikorian. Congratulations to you. Awesome start to your day, my friend. You are one of our favorite people here to watch. And, you didn't really have to slap the guy. So I think he walked away pretty okay. Well, actually, that's a poor choice of words. You did heel hook him. I'm going to have to figure out how to phrase these things better. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying to you is, Keith, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing what you got next, bro. And it says, Keith and I have slapped each other a few times. Yes. Usually not very hard out of respect because I wouldn't want to get hit hard back by him. Ronnie, I think that's an absolutely good policy to have. But I've seen the way that you roll, and I've rolled with you once. It's not fun. So I wouldn't really invite that. Yes, Keith is definitely on the dark side of Jedi powers, so I would want to unleash the inner Anakin. I think if you ever utter the phrase Order 66 around Keith Krikorian, he might take out an entire school of children. Don't quote me on that, but it seems like a very likely possibility. I'm just saying. I'm just reporting the news. That's it. All right. Let me see what other news and information I have for you at the moment. We've already yelled at Life of George C. We're going to give us another share. Again, as a reminder, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air just like we do all those who get finishes with end regulation. And we will take care of Jordan Holy in just a minute. We're just allowing things to progress here and for them to catch up with us. So, in this next match, we're kind of, I don't want to say biding our time, but you got Jim Ehlers versus Diego Lopez. But the next match, Nathan Orchard versus Trent Irab, is coming up right after this. But we'll see how this one plays out. These two gentlemen should have a very interesting match. Jim Ehlers, no stranger to this format, this kind of jiu-jitsu. So we'll see how he does here tonight. And of course, you guys all sitting here watching along with us. We appreciate you guys. Ooh! Shoots in for the double within seconds. Diego wants no part of it. Stands right back up. Good connection by both gentlemen here. Game of Mercy takes us with a few seconds in. Another shot. He has an underhook, but you see Diego starting to back away ever so much. What is up, Gustavo? How you doing, my brother? I hope everything is going well. It's been a while since I've seen you, my friend. Nice guillotine, snap down potential here. Ooh, that front headlock. He tries to trip out that leg. But, man, Diego's really good at actually disengaging here a lot. Credit to him. But now gets to play off his back, which I suspect might be somewhere he's actually pretty good at playing off of. So we're going to have to see how he continues to progress from that position. Meanwhile, if you guys are just joining us right now, we're going to be here for a bit. We are going to be watching the entire Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds card here for your entertainment and mine, I guess. I don't know exactly how to put that. Playing from a high guard position here. My apologies, not high guard, but from a guard position. Closed guard, and now things are slowing down just slightly. Nothing too crazy out of the blue here, but we are in a very interesting spot, a staple of the leg, and you're going to see a push down of it with an attempt to pass to the right-hand side. But, oh, nope, surprise, slaps. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. Oh, God. Bro, Diego, do me a solid. Oh, it's opening up the opportunity for a leg lock here. Diego thinks to himself, maybe I can try and heel hook the dude who's trying to get the shit slapped out of me. And both of these gentlemen kind of exchange some head nods to each other while Mike Beltran centers them back into the mat section. It's an interesting beginning to this match thus far in. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. As a reminder, give us a like and a share. We will give you a toast on air. You know the rules. It's pretty easy, and we love it when you guys interact with us. It makes things so much more entertaining and so much more educational, if you would. Not super educational, but, you know, like, decently educational. All right, here's the continuation of the match. Exchange. We almost had, for a split second, a guillotine attempt, but instead that's going to allow Diego to potentially start passing guard here. It's going to be an interesting next couple of minutes. There could be a Von Flute choke if he does not let go, and he does wisely at this opportunity. We're watching some Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds right now. Join in. Looking at a Darce by Diego. Nope, switches it, grips. Now, remembers he can kind of slap because he's on his knees here. This power half is actually pretty solid. Now, strikes to the body. There's so much anger from these young men. Every time that happens, they're always like, oh, fuck. I hate you, Dad. Take that. CJJ Worlds. Bam. All right. Just share that on my own personal Facebook as we continue to watch some more strikes. Uh-oh. Reversal of fortune here. Woo! Jim Ehlers really, for a split second, with some solid strikes inside of that guard. Excellent work on both of these gentlemen's parts. They definitely are throwing as much as they can at this point. We'll see how that continues to play out for both of them. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep an eye out for anything that is trending as well, because I'll tell you this. I wonder how many people are watching this versus actually watching the actual IBJJF Worlds. Just did a quick hashtag search, and I do not see much going on for CJJ Worlds. So I'm going to go to this. Yes, the official hashtag is CJJW. That is what I see here. And not a ton of people talking about that one either. So I don't know what the trends are looking like on this one, but it does not look like a ton of engagement. Meanwhile, though, I do know that this is one of the bigger weekends for Flow, so it'll be interesting to see what the numbers get, and I'll keep an eye on that. But in this one, an omoplata attempt, but ooh, that's the best part, is you can go from framing on somebody's face to immediately palm striking them. 4:55 left to go in this regulation of this round one match. What is up, that dude, Jason? Speaking of people that I should combat jiu-jitsu, Jason probably at the top of it. Although he does work more from mount. I think he knows I wouldn't be afraid to upslap him from where I am. So either way. Jason, one of my best training partners. Always love getting in good rounds with that guy. Very, very, very soon we have to get some more rounds in soon. So we'll see. I might be down that way soon. Let's put something in the books. I'll reach out to you soon. All right, we're at the, I think, repositioning for both of these gentlemen. Won't be surprised if you see them return to their slapping ways in just a few seconds. Jim Ehlers looking for a heel hook. Just pops off. Little slippage on that part, but he's not giving up on the position. It's a little south of where you'd like it to be. And his opponent, Diego, now gets his shot at a heel hook. Looking for it. Starting to figure four the legs, might lose it. That's going to allow Jim an opportunity to either slip out or rechamber and try and hit back on his own. Does not get it. Jim now trying to position the legs out, using them to space out a little bit more. And in between, Diego tried to come in for a slap through the open guard. Ooh, that's pretty good. If somebody tries to pass and they have one of your legs that they're using with their arm that's stuck, that's a pretty good way of slapping from the bottom to hit up. Noted. I think I'll have to keep that one in the chamber for the future if anybody tries to get too dumb with me when I'm rolling. I still want to point this out. I'm still really pissed that Verbal Tap was banned from doing a live version of this broadcast. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. From sharing one meme, the 7 years of doing this, I cannot believe that we now have actually gotten some sort of this is a not safe broadcast. So either way, I guess is what I'm telling you. Things be dumb. But I'm glad that you guys are joining us. And now, working from up top, Diego is slowly just kind of biding his time here, putting pressure, looks for that Darce again, and almost an anaconda choke. Almost has it, reach chambers. Jim's going to have to let go of this leg and try to come up on top a little bit better if that's the case. But I think he's just gritting it. Now this is a really good position for Diego, who continues to put down that pressure. It's tight. I think Jim's still fighting it. This reach chamber is going to be huge for Diego. He's now potentially going to use this grip right here to dump him, if I'm guessing. And, you know, who says I'm not? It looks like that is something he could be doing at this moment. So keep your eyes on this broadcast as we continue to tell you guys what's happening. Things are going on, and we're just enjoying our broadcast as it is happening. Hope you guys are enjoying your wonderful Sunday. But meantime, this beer is actually really good. I think we still have to do one more cheers now that I think about it. Jordan Holy as soon as this one's done. So don't let me forget that. We're in the process of getting work done here, friends. I want to make sure that you guys are well informed and entertained throughout the rest of the day. So do not let me go by without doing one of those, because there's a lot of combat jiu-jitsu still left to be done here today. And this is what I always love, is when people get so exhausted, they just start, bro, it's been 9 minutes. I'm tired, man. I don't want to hit you anymore. Let's just go to fucking overtime. So keep that in mind. All right. Let us see if I can share this on the Verbal Tap. I cannot create a status update here. Anyway. All right. This is going to go itself into overtime. Now just waiting to see how this progresses. I mean, it started off as a fun match. Of course, as it starts to wind down, it's always hard to keep interest all the way through. The momentum just kind of starts to die down a little bit more, especially when you see people just getting sloppily slapped, is one way to put it. They exchange a very brief hug, but they know they have to go to overtime now. Mike Beltran is asking Diego if he is ready for overtime. The two of them get brought over. And I think they've already figured out who's going first. I think there might have been a coin flip that happened somewhere that we didn't need to see. Womp womp. All right. We're at the armbar position here. This is very interesting to see. He's going to start with the spiderweb position, and he's already got a decent grip, but Jim, very adept at this, getting to his knees. He's going to have to bring that back knee up. It would be better if he has that base, because you're going to see Diego try to spin him out one more time and knock him back down. It is very possible to do from this position. So I am hoping that Jim takes the opportunity to slide that knee behind the butt. You don't always need it, but it does secure them into that position, because otherwise you can get dumped back over. Here's a good opportunity, though. He has the foot over the face. This bodes well for his ability to get that elbow out from underneath that leg. He has some time here, so this could still work in his favor. Oh, the arm is, it's extended, and he does tap. See? Man, Jim, bro. You still get an opportunity to take this guy out, but it's just what happens, in my opinion, when you miss a step. And he had such great positions throughout. It is just, you can get out from those positions like 1,000,000%. And there's a lot that he was doing right. It's that I could see he had the opportunity to give himself extra insurance, and he just didn't quite do those extra steps that make sure that he is going to be okay. What is up, the Book of Void? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I was already telling Jason, we got to get him back up this way training. And look, Diego's already out. That's, man, that's a rough one. So it looks like Diego will get the honor of taking on the winner of the next match, which, if you believe the people who were sending me in their notes this week, should be Nathan Orchard. So just keep that in mind. We're going to see how it plays out. Nothing is ever guaranteed, especially when you consider the last time that Nathan Orchard was in one of these, famously was upset in one of the early rounds. So don't ever count people out in this strange format and brand. Lots of crazy things can happen, and very pleased that you guys are joining us here today. Having a very good time. We saw Joshua Leonard. Good to see you, brother. I hope all is good. Just coming in to make up on some lost time here. Saying hello to everybody who's dropped in. I appreciate you guys. I hope that you're enjoying this Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. It's always fun when you can take a moment and get excited to see these things, because it is fun to watch, especially with a group of people who, you know, are excited about this sort of thing. As a reminder, let me know if you guys are hearing anything from IBJJF Worlds. I am not currently watching, but I will always take your notes, thoughts, considerations, all of that good jazz. So please do not be afraid to keep me abreast of that situation. I'm going to reset this. There we go. I always love when this thing washes me out, because the good lighting for one of the broadcasts is bad for the other broadcast. All right, Nathan Orchard versus Trent Irab, who is representing Team Alpha Male and Texas Punishment Crew. Texas Punishment Crew sounds like they just give you the death penalty. Like, you don't even roll, you just get the death penalty. And you know what? You guys were nice enough to remind me, yes, we have to do a cheers for Jordan Holy. So let's take care of that right now. This cheers goes on out to Jordan Holy, friend of the show. Holy shit, that was good. Man, you wasted no time. You've got an axe to grind on this one. We're interested and very intrigued to see what you're going to bring here today. But cheers to you, brother. A very, very solid opening round. Jordan Holy and Keith Krikorian, very familiar with each other. They will be taking on each other in the next round. So that is going to be another one to watch. Nathan Orchard making his way on out to the mats. Doing his usual, I think I'm a dinosaur opening. Like that pterodactyl thing that he does. It's pretty primal. I've never actually asked him about it, but I'm pretty sure I could get a good explanation from him about it. What is up, Trinity Pun? Legendary Trinity Pun. One of the best grapplers, pound for pound out there. Always exciting and fun to see. Can't wait to see her compete again. All right, Nathan Orchard establishing grips on his opponent, who, if you do take it at standard and realize, okay, this is a guy who's worked with Team Alpha Male, there is going to be a certain output. There is going to be a certain expectation. He does get a good takedown on Nathan Orchard. He's going to work to pass. Fighting on the legs, that's a very smart strategy. If you can neutralize a lot of that closed guard for Nathan Orchard, it does really take away one of the most recognizable weapons. And he's already in mount on Nathan Orchard. Nathan's struggling to get out right now. It's a good thing this guy has not remembered that this is a combat match. He can strike him from this position, because this would be a very bad position for Senor Orchard to be in. That back is exposed. Orchard trying to keep a grip on that leg to push it off so that maybe he can try to get an escape here. There is not a ton of success. Now we're starting to see some strikes get rained down on at the moment. So they're being peppered in very shortly. This is a terrible position because the arms are a little bit out of the way. So Orchard has to be very careful. Famously, you can't bring up Nathan Orchard without Wagner Hocha, who was one of the people to get one of the very first knockouts here in combat jiu-jitsu when they gave him a stoppage, a TKO stoppage, for one of the matches that he had with Orchard. And here the gift wrap is in. Talk about Trent making a very, very impressive sort of appearance here. Like, Jesus Christ, look at this guy working from the mount. He's gonna look to take the back here, I think, in a second. There's a potential for a head and arm. Nate's staying as composed as he can be, but he's not giving up this back control easily. It does look a lot like you are seeing Trent now go to this off to the side choke that's up. He's going to maybe switch that over to head and arm. He's got a good entry into it. Nathan almost exposing the back to make sure that he doesn't get trapped in that head and arm. Nate is very much under duress here. And you're going to see this young man, Trent, continuing to just put lots and lots of pressure. No respect at all for Nathan Orchard in this match. 7:17 left to go. This could be a very long match for Nate. So we'll see how it plays out. Nate now, interestingly enough, did make some adjustments. Now Nate is actually in a much better position. Trent is going to have to work a little bit out of this wrestler position. It looks like he wants to continue for a takedown here, almost switching to a single. But Nate, if he's not thinking about a powerbomb, it's definitely not out of the question. Just from the way it looks. Now, they kind of dump over to the side, quickly go back to that turtle position. Nate with a waist lock. Almost looking like he was trying to sneak in a triangle, reverse triangle here. Not getting it. This one's going to be very confusing for us to have a full sense of what is happening at all times. Because, again, just a few seconds ago, Nate was under very, very bad pressure. And here he's in a better position, but just the explosiveness and the overall just aggression from Trent was something to behold. Nate kind of stopping that momentum. This is a very good job of making sure maybe he can take it from back. But, oh, watch this. This is a very unusual grip here. Nate essentially has almost like a weird sort of, I am underneath, but I'm almost in mount. It's almost the best way to describe that one. It is a very wild presentation here. Nate's probably going to work to disrupt him a little bit, but it does look like Trent was trying to make him into a Muppet there for a split second by opening and closing his mouth. So there you have that. Nate's going to work from inside. Nate may be trying to hit a buggy choke from here. It's not quite happening just yet. But from the inside, closed guard, but not just any closed guard. This is a body triangle from inside of guard, which he's trying to maybe use to slip out and around the back so that he can then start attacking from here. But again, guard is not where you want to be with Nathan Orchard. A beautiful timed opportunity here, and they're going to stop and reset them, though the momentum was very much swinging on the Nathan Orchard side. 4:36 left on that clock, left to go. Fun stuff here, kids. Of course, just as a reminder, Trent himself, he is recently, if I'm looking at this correctly, just after 10 years, he has made his way to being a black belt. So congratulations are in order to him. But he also comes in with a little bit of MMA and striking experience himself. So it's very interesting to see how they pick and select these people, because you could easily get a number of jiu-jitsu guys, but for him to kind of have that jiu-jitsu and MMA kind of background, it does make him that ideal fit for this format and for this particular brand. So we'll see. Now he's inside of Nate's closed guard. Again, this was the area I was talking the most about in terms of not wanting to be in this position for a prolonged period of time. Nate's close guard tends to be among some of the best in the 10th planet system. He's still with that body triangle from inside of that close guard. And I think what you're seeing now from Trent is the ability to lay down some slaps in this position. And Nate already starting to get that rubber guard, using it as an opportunity to get some slaps in. I don't think these are going to have a ton of impact on him, but you could see him thinking, maybe if I can loosen up some of the arms with this slap, I can get to that dead orchard, which is his jam. That arm is starting to get a little compromised here, but you are seeing Trent make some decent movement. Nate opting and switching to now a triangle and just starting to wiggle that arm as much as he can out of that position. And there is an arm bar, and you do get the tap. So even under duress, Nathan Orchard, woo, coming in clutch. Wow. Well, let's take care of that cheers right now because that was too good to ignore. This toast goes on out to friend of the show, Nathan Orchard. Nathan, man, that was a tough match to win. I know you had to dig deep. I know that you had to pull out some really good shit. But one thing that you know, win, lose, good position, bad position, you're always going to give us a show. And man, even when things weren't looking great, you recalibrated. And once they get you to that guard position, I just think you're one of the hardest people to contend with in that guard. Don't ever dead orchard me, my man. Cheers to you, brother. All right, let's go over what I'm drinking here today. So what I'm drinking today is a drink by the name of Uncle Shoes IPA. Uncle Shoes IPA, 8.3 alcoholic beverage content. It is a beautiful India Pale Ale, and it is brewed out of Indie Brewing Company in Los Angeles, California. Look at this. Scan the code, get the music. It's a beer tape. It's a Citra Galaxy Simcoe. Well, now I gotta do that. If you guys look at let's do that. Can you guys get that? Does that give you the opportunity? Is there too much light there? Either way, I guess they're giving you like a mixtape of some sort. Unclear. I just like, that's how you know I don't do any pre-work on any of this. I just go, oh, there's a fucking QR code. Oh, you guys should scan that. I was recently thinking about this the other day. I was like, if I make another shirt again, I think we almost have to put the QR code there. I think it would just make it much easier for people. I was so surprised that it took me that long to come up with that strategy where I go, oh, yeah, I should really put my QR code on all my shit. So definitely something to contend with and think about as we go on. All right. So I hope that you guys continue to enjoy your day. We're still here working our workout. Definitely getting some good shit done. I hope that you guys are enjoying your day. Definitely working to get all the way to the end of this one today. So CJJ on Fight Pass. So did they give up on every other hashtag? Let's check out this hashtag because I don't know how much traction they are getting. So CJJ on Fight Pass. There is exactly one use of it. God damn, dude. Whoever is watching these things, they don't use the hashtags. I know it's an actual thing that people are watching. I just don't know the extent to it. So CJJ on Fight Pass. Let's try this. I see 87 posts with the hashtag. And some of them... Okay, from some. That's not bad. Most of it is the promotional hashtag from the actual CJJ account or the UFC official account themselves, aka the Fight Pass one. And a lot of it's just the promo photos of these. So yes, as a reminder, there will be a special match. On here it says Benetti versus Orlando Ye. Who knows if that even happens? They're at commercial right now, so that means they're not doing shit. So we would throw to commercial, and I have some on for our main broadcast people. For our people watching here, I don't necessarily have one, so my apologies if you expect any kind of commercial action to happen. So instead, I'll just do a live commercial here. If you guys like the content that you see here on the Grappling Hour, we always ask and appreciate if you guys wouldn't mind throwing us some love over at our Hi page. That is hi.page/Grappling Hour. That is where you can buy a membership for the Grappling Hour. We appreciate your support. We love it. The way it works is this. If you buy a $5 membership, you get early access to all my interviews. Recently, that would include Gary Tonin, Alan Sanchez, winner of the last EBI, Drew Dober, Gabe Green, among others. Also, Andrew Wiltsey, his premieres tomorrow. So, if you ever want to see those interviews before the general public, we ask that you just do $5. You see them 30 days before everybody else. If you want to do something else and you want to see the premium content that we are creating, aka tape studies with a lot of our favorite athletes, aka extra episodes, aka we're doing some vlogs. I just did some vlogs while I went to go visit AEW, which I know some of you might think is not necessarily jiu-jitsu content. I argue differently. Look at some of those matches. It's pretty close to being jiu-jitsu, if not actual jiu-jitsu, from a lot of these athletes who are starting to train more and more. And of course, you can also catch some of my own training sessions, because I know sometimes you guys always ask, like, Raph, how do you roll? And it's kind of a secret to a lot of people. A lot of you don't see it. So if you want to see those things and you want to support the show, and really that's what it is, you're just supporting the show and what we do here, we would love it if you visit us at hi.page/Grappling Hour and just buy a membership. It would mean the world to me. So easy way for you guys to support the show. Love it, appreciate it, etc., etc. So as we're seeing here, what is up, Blanca? You guys are at commercial right now. I bet you're about to come back in just a second. It's a good show so far. Give my best to everybody there. You know I miss covering these things, but hopefully you guys at some point find your way back to LA, because Cancun sounds lovely. But I miss driving one, maybe two freeways to go cover y'all. But love seeing it. So far, enjoying what is going on. Still more to come. The semifinals, still a little bit away. We're going down to our rows of 8. We'll see how this plays out. Lots of compelling stories. You've still got a lot of people in this that could make some major headways. For example, Damien Anderson advances. Sick knockout. David Weintraub, long-ass match against Rafael Diaz. How does that play out for him? Then you've also got Kieran Chiruk, who's able to get past Mikey Gonzalez in the first round, going up against Ethan Crelinsten, who looks like he has an agenda here today. On top of that, Keith Krikorian advances, Jordan Holley advances. They'll go up against one another again. They always have great matches, so no chance to believe that that's going to let you down here. And then, of course, you've got Jim Ehlers, who ended up getting tapped by Diego Lopez, who's going to be facing Nathan Orchard, who had a very, it was not the easiest of matches, but he gritted through and made it work for him. So we continue to watch these commercials as they play. Meanwhile, enjoying what you're seeing here. If you guys like us, love us, all that good stuff, we also love a like and a share. We give a toast to all the fighters that get finishes within regulation. So, if you guys are watching along, we'd love it. If you guys are sending us some notes, sending us some love, we appreciate all the interactions that we get here as this broadcast goes out live. So, keep us informed, keep us entertained, all of that good jazz. I see that Eddie Bravo is plugging his podcast, which means I should be able to plug mine. So as we wait for this, I'm going to take a moment. Another Datsasar commercial, so we'll let them play theirs out in a second while I give this a quick share on my social media. Because y'all, these commercials on these ones be way too long. I think you know it, I know it, all that good shit. All right, let us go ahead and signal how to share this broadcast. And that's about it. It's very interesting to see that they gave us a block on this one, though. My appreciation for the extra, what is this? We just got a notification. If you liked and shared us, there's a possibility I'm about to give you a shout out on air. Let's see what we just got right now. New subscriber, John Cloud. All right. I know John. We'll take care of you right now. This cheers goes on out to friend of the show, John Cloud. John Cloud is one of the nicest human beings in the world. Excellent jiu-jitsu. Now living out in the Pacific Northwest, but he is very much missed out this way. John, thank you for the share. Thank you for the love. But more importantly, thank you for the new like and being a subscriber of the Grappling Hour. It means the world to us. Cheers to you, brother. Hope all is well. Yeah, this shit really pissed me off, though. So, yeah, I'll see if I can find you the exact meme that did us in on Instagram. But I think it's worth sharing. Because, like, I don't know the person that we were offending with this one. So it says, this is banks and financial institutions lending, how to pay off debt. And the joke is supposed to be, die. Who is that offending? Is that offending rich people? That's why we can't go live on Verbal Tap right now, which is absurd to me. So, is what it is, my friends. But I'm more entertained than anything, I think, by the ability to not have something because it got real sad that rich people were like, oh no, they're under attack. No. So we're actually just going to put this up on as an update. Can't go live on Verbal Tap. Verbal Tap. IG. Follow at Grappling Hour to watch our live companion. That's how you can tell. You really have to get through some shit sometimes. Nope. Grappling Hour, not Grappling Monkey. To watch our CJJ Worlds fight companion. All right. Let's give that a share, everybody. Wabam. All right, let's see if they are back yet. Oh, God, they're still on fucking commercials. Quarterfinals. Huzzah. All right. That is set back up on my clock. All right. We're about to see some more jiu-jitsu action happening right now. Appreciate you guys, again, for watching along with us. We're having some fun here. Uncle Shoe's IPA still treat me good, but you know what? It's a good time to remind me to hydrate because can't have enough water here, kids. Even bubbled water. Which I drink because I'm a child. Oh. All right. Damien Anderson already making his way to the mats. David Weintraub going to be coming over representing Shaolin BJJ and, of course, Finishers MMA. So this should be, at the very least, something to behold. Because Damien had a good first match, and he's already a good competitor, so this isn't necessarily a surprise as much as it is, well, David, it's a tough time to have a rough first match, but we'll see if he's able to rally here on this one. Lots to say, lots to go through. All right, right up top, David doing his best to try and get a good grip on Damien, who just keeps good head movement, swaying back and forth, takes a couple head strikes right there almost as they're standing up. What is up, B Cruz? Hope you're having a good one. We're watching us some combat jiu-jitsu. Hope you're having a good day. I wonder if you're going to see Damien Anderson shoot in because he keeps changing his, or suggesting that he's going to change his level. So I can't get a good read on if that's an actual, he's going to change levels and shoot, or if he's just kind of playing because he knows that David's been so tired that even... Oh, the shoot happens! Look at that. Calling it as it is. B. Cruz, you saying, what up? Not much, man. How about you? Just watching some combat jiu-jitsu, seeing Damien Anderson probably about to slap the shit out of David Weintraub. We'll see what happens here. Oof. They're just fucking throwing rocket launchers at this point. Yeah, this dude, he's not in a good spot. This is an inside body triangle. There's slaps abound. He's kind of protecting his face, but these are aggressive slaps all the way through. I do not like having to be in this situation if I am him. Because there's 8 minutes to work here. It's very similar to Ethan Crelinsten's sort of statement that he wanted to make, which was, yeah, dude, I know I can choke you from this position, but I would much rather try to make life insufferable for you so that you don't come back and win this one. This arm, so he has one arm as well. His left arm is already compromised, but it is opening up his chin. Damien Anderson has a grip underneath. He can lock that arm to go behind the head. He does have it. I think it will be hard for him to get out of this. I do expect to see David give a tap, and he does right now. Woo! What is up, Skateboarder News? Skateboarder News, what are you doing here? Are you guys jiu-jitsu people? I guess that would kind of make sense. So, I can't hate on that. I just wouldn't know we would appeal to you, but here you are. What is up, BJJ Report? Good to see everybody showing up. Love y'all. We're going to give a toast to Damien Anderson here, getting a finish within regulation. But if you guys want to get a toast, just like we do those who get finishes within regulation, all you have to do is give us a like and a share on your social media. So that means sharing this on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is that your thing is. Just take it, share it with folks, and we will give you a toast. And I'll give you an example of what one of those toasts looks like right now. This cheers goes on out to friend of the show, Damien Anderson, who continues to impress. My God, man. You're out here in a competition with Ethan, it looks like. No, I'm not talking about the competition that is very likely going to happen with you versus him in a semifinal match. I'm talking about a competition to see who can slap the shit harder out of their opponents. And I have to say, no disrespect to Ethan, I think you're winning. It does not look fun rolling with you. I still got to hold this up. It does not look fun to roll with you, sir. Ugh. Why are people going to compete against you? I don't even get it. Cheers to you, I guess. Congrats. We'll see you in the semis. Oof. Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds quarterfinal happening right now. I guess we're going to see, now that we've saw how that first match goes, who's going to win between Kieran and Ethan Crelinsten. And if it was anything like what we just saw beforehand, it does not look like it is going to be a particularly fun match. What is up, Lakura? YJJ, good to see you, brother. Hope all is going well. We're about to see, in my estimation, Ethan Crelinsten going nuts again. It's always funny because, like, Ethan has a very Canadian-like demeanor. What is up, Olga? But then you get him on a stage like this, and I've seen him be aggressive in jiu-jitsu matches. This is a little different. What's up, Duncan's Beard? This always feels like when you see him on the stage, it's a little more intense, but give him the ability to slap, and the man looks almost possessed. Trying to get some good collar drags here, but more importantly, just pulling on the head. Seeing if he can get an action-reaction out of Kieran on this thus far in. As a reminder, if you guys give us a like and a share, we'll give you a toast on air because we're watching us some combat jiu-jitsu. Loving you guys. Enjoying all that is happening. What's up, La Barba? 818. Much appreciate. Love you. Hope all is well. You better come grapple with us very soon on one of these open mats. Or, just take my class. Whatever. No big. So here's the good news. It does look like Kieran is trying to attack the leg of Ethan Crelinsten. And Ethan, I think he's getting a little off course in terms of, hey man, I'm just trying to come out here and slap you. What the fuck are you trying to jiu-jitsu me for? And this is interesting because he's not fully slapping them. This is actually more insulting if you ask me. It is why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Kind of vague. I'm not really slapping you. I'm just kind of vaguely tapping you in the face. Kieran has no fucks to give right now, which is refreshing. Ooh, it was a good backhand kind of slap on Ethan Crelinsten as he tries to isolate a leg and extends Ethan out. He's sending some backhands to give him some more space and to let go of some of that grip that keeps him in a good position. This is strangely a wonderful technique. I would say you could also hit a sharpshooter from here, but that's neither here nor there. I hate when they go to the crane shot when we don't need the crane shot. You want to stick on this action. Do not give me a crane. Do not. Stay close on that, because both of these gentlemen are in a tight situation in this vaguely 50-50 sort of thing. Watching how he's slapping and getting some, I think, annoyance out of Ethan is kind of interesting, especially given the fact that in that first round, we saw Ethan so dominant, so on game plan, that seeing him figure this out in real time is very interesting. And now Ethan is going to work from playing up top and now has the ability to pass. There's 7:16 left to go, and he is climbing up slowly but surely. He looks at him, and they're going to reset him in this very, very solid passing predicament. So that'll be very fun to watch as Ethan continues to do his thing. Appreciate y'all sending us some notes and some love. Getting that. I'm getting a little washed out here, so let's see if that recalibrates. Here we go. Back to the action. Ethan trying to get a leg loose. He does. This is maybe going to allow him to throw both the legs to one side and start to pass again. Unclear as to how that will actually work here. And sending some strikes up from off of his back. What is up, Jay House? Appreciate you, brother. When are you going to come back to Cali? You and I, we got some WWE BJJ nonsense to film. And for ducking out of here, you're due a sharpshooter, my friend. What is up, Jiu-Jitsu memes? Hope you're doing well, brother. Ooh, Ethan. For a split second, Kieran looks like he was trying to get this leg lock, almost going to a heel hook, and now Ethan coming in and reminding him, yeah, bro, I can still slap you from this position. Oof, for a split second, he could see the greener pastures with that leg, almost going into a heel hook. It's 5:46. Part of me wonders if Ethan is going to go off his scheduled version of, oh, that is a very bloody slap, by the way. Yeah, I think Ethan might actually be encouraged by that visual of that Johnny Depp crying eye. Not from the trial, from Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Learn. It says, watching GRAPPLING Worlds Low just won. Again, of course. That's amazing. Good for him, man. What a fucking monster. I feel like Leandro Lowe, he might get older, but it doesn't look like it from his success in jiu-jitsu. So there is that. Did Ethan win? He won his first match. He's in the middle of his second right now. And he actually has a very game opponent, but it looks like Ethan is done playing MMA guy and is going straight back to his jiu-jitsu roots. For the bulk of the beginning of his first match, he was just striking. Now he's got a rear naked choke. I would suspect this should be a wrap here in just a second, and it is. And why would you zoom out? Don't go to crane when you have the submission locked in. I'm very sorry. Just a note, technical note, if you are directing jiu-jitsu, if a person has a locked-in finish, do not zoom out. Do not give me a crane shot. Give me a crane shot after the dude taps. If that dude taps and I see it from the crane shot, no, bad. Don't do that. Why? Because when it's about to be finished, there's no epic presentation you need to see until it's finished. What is up, Sam Does Nothing? God damn it. Versus who? What's up, Isaiah? Yeah, so this was against Kieran in his second round. So Kieran, very game opponent. I really liked what he was presenting with Ethan in his match. But Ethan is on a mission. Now the real question. Damien, Ethan. Because you can only have one person for an association go to the final. So they're going to have to duke it out in this next one. But it begs the question. Are they going to slap each other? Because a lot of similar programmed or similar affiliations have a gentleman's agreement to not slap the shit out of each other. Remains to be seen. But there's money on the line, there's pride on the line, etc., etc. So we'll have to see what happens. Kieran from Lloyd, yes. What is up? What is up? And Kieran was actually really good. He was putting a really a good game against him. And you said you got Damien. We'll have to see. I don't know, man. I think Ethan's jiu-jitsu is a little bit better. Damien, though, has that straight knockout. But I don't know that we're going to see them slap each other. I think that would be a competitive edge for Damien. So I guess it's really going to go on what did they agree to beforehand? Are they sticking to that? And how bad does each of them want it? Because I know both of them, they're very competitive people. All right. Keith Krikorian making his way out right now. Jordan Holy is about to come out to take him on. This is going to be a fire match. Get ready for this. These gentlemen always have great clashes. And it says Ethan has been out for too long. Yeah, you say that, but you also did not see the way Ethan came out as well. Damien definitely got the knockout in that first round, and it looked spicy. But I'm just saying, Ethan didn't look unimpressive in his first win. So we'll see. I guess, like I said, it really comes down to, are you punching or slapping or not? It says Keith will win. Keith has won in previous encounters with Jordan Holy, but Keith would be the first person to tell you that you do not allow Jordan Holy to get his game on him. And right now, Jordan is up top. Jordan is slowly encroaching upon Keith's leg, putting a lot of pressure here. He almost looked like he was going to spin out for an arm lock, but instead, he's going to reap the leg over and try to attack it. Keith is here, thought about a heel hook, doesn't really have much to go on just yet. This is only 30 seconds into the match, and we're already off of 5 different exchanges. Keith bullying his way on top, leaves his leg out for a split second, does not need to do that with somebody like Jordan Holy. Reattacks very quickly, has a heel hook here. Zoom in, don't go to a fucking crane shot, thank you. And we're back up on top. Yeah, Keith is a monster, dude. And Jordan Holy, one of the most aggressive and savage competitors that you can really find on our competition circuit. And again, they're friendly with each other and they have a lot of respect for each other's games. But one thing that you're seeing here is because they have respect for each other's games, no slaps yet. Huh? So you have to ask yourself, if this is how two friends are seeing each other with no slaps, and Keith could potentially go up against Nathan Orchard, which is no slaps, it's entirely possible there's going to be a few matches in a combat jiu-jitsu themed sort of presentation where slaps once again take the backdrop. Just saying. Something to consider. Keith working to take the back here and Jordan not giving any part of it. So Keith will then just stick with mount and take that, and now going to high mount. And again, this would be the place that you would drop in and hit some slaps on. But yet, not happening here. Keith very slowly climbing up, isolating one of the arms. This is super classic jiu-jitsu, and now may even be thinking about a head and arm, but instead you're seeing Jordan Holy bring the arms back in, trying to keep himself safe. This is not the best of looks or worlds for Jordan Holy in terms of keeping himself safe. So my hope is that he has a little bit better success of keeping Keith at bay. But Keith is very much isolating that arm over the head. It is allowing Jordan some time, but there is still 7:18 left on this clock, which is going to give Keith a lot of playing time, especially if he just stays as sturdy as possible. I think one thing to consider since the last time they've had matches with each other is that Keith has gotten so much competition experience at such a high level, it does begin to make a difference. So when you see this head and arm choke and it's at a 45-degree angle, Keith has a very good squeeze. He's in that half guard. Jordan doing a great job of trying to give himself a turn into Keith, which can kind of alleviate some of the pressure. The question is, how does Keith recalibrate? And I would know that if I could not get a fucking crane shot. Out of the crane shot. Stop giving me a crane shot. Keep right there or zoom in on that crane. Because right now, Keith is putting it on Jordan Holley, who looks like he's eating it. Keith is going to make a readjustment. Jordan almost doing everything he can to just stay out of it. That squeeze is tight. I think that knee is Keith's version of blocking him from turning completely into him. And Keith ends up getting the tap on Jordan Holley. Excellent work by the young, the incredible Senor Keith Krikorian. And Keith already appearing to go say hello to what I believe was Jordan Holley's coaching side of the mats. Keith readjusts his knee brace to remind us, yeah, it's kind of injured, but what the fuck you guys going to do about it? And Jordan's still pointing up to the big man himself while Keith gets his hand raised and immediately comes over to give him a hug. Two gentlemen, so much appreciation for one each other's games and a handshake as they get themselves off the mats. Well, I was correct in saying I did not think we were going to see that much of a jiu-jitsu slap exchange, but it was still fairly interesting to see. So anyways, if you guys want to give us a like and a share on your Facebook or anywhere that you're watching, we will give you a toast on air just like we do all of those fighters that get finishes within regulation. We're about to do one for Keith here in just a second. So hang tight. We're going to get to our next match. And I believe this is going to be a very fun one with Senor Nathan Orchard coming up right now. All right, guys, we're about to get back to our usual business here. Appreciate you guys for sticking around, just making sure I am on top of all the people who are sending in notes. Sometimes we get people who send in notes to us off air who want to know what's going on, and I say, you know, you could just watch. But everybody's busy, bro. People have lives to lead, families to take care of. I know how it goes. Diego Lopez versus Nathan Orchard. Diego, of course, having a tough overtime experience just a few minutes ago, but still some really good jiu-jitsu on his side. So very intrigued to see how he plays against Nathan Orchard, who was able to rally against a very game opponent in his first round with Trent Arab. So we'll see. And this may play very well. But Diego, if I'm him, I definitely want to stay out of Nathan Orchard's guard. Remember that. I said that the last time. It proved to be true. Why is that true? I don't know. Maybe a guy has a name of a move that involves a closed guard. If you can, and some people were past that guard, don't let him back in that guard. That closed guard is death. And guess what? Diego, a takedown can sometimes get you straight into that closed guard with the body triangle. There's some slaps on the inside. Nathan bringing that hook over, and then for extra fun, gets a hook underneath the leg. Diego's not fully compromised just yet, but it's not looking good. I think he gives a bit of a smile to the audience, and Orchard just uses that opportunity to cinch down just a little bit closer. He is now going to what looks like an armbar position here. Yep, gets one leg over that hand, and yep, that looks savage enough to get a win. So in the next round, you're going to see Keith Krikorian versus Nathan Orchard on one side. On the other side, Ethan Crelinsten and Damien Anderson, which begs the question, how much combat jiu-jitsu are you going to see in this next semifinal round? I don't think you'll see it with Nathan and Keith. Is there a possibility you see it with Damien and with Ethan? Maybe. But for both of those guys who were coming out here swinging for the fences, I don't know. I'm not certain as to them going all out like this. So let's take care of some business, some housework here before we go any further. I want to give a toast to first Keith Krikorian, the young Keith Krikorian, who is a monster. So here we go. This toast goes out to friend of the show, Keith Krikorian. What a monster. Look at you. I know that you weren't going to throw down strikes on Jordan Hawley. He's a good friend of yours. He's a good friend of the show's. I appreciate the sportsmanship. But that still doesn't mean you weren't out there doing aggressive work. The way that you transitioned, the way that you held composure, that 45-degree on that head and arm choke, mwah. But not only that, the ability to make sure that you don't let your opponent get their knee back in to re-guard. You stayed consistent. It's one of the best examples of a head and arm choke that I can see, especially off to that side when you're not parallel with the person's. I just want to say congratulations to you, brother. Can't wait to see you and Orchard. That's going to be a fun match. Cheers. All right, we're going to do a cheers, a toast to friend of the show, Nathan Orchard, here in just a second. But what is up, McBJJ Academy? Hope you're having a great day. We're having a good one so far here on the show. I just got a note sent to me that said, holy shit, are we finally going to see Keith versus Orchard? The answer is yes, we are. We are very much going to see that match, and I'm stoked for it, and maybe a little scared. Maybe both. Don't know. And Ethan versus Damien, don't overlook that one either. Both of those should be very exciting. Let's see if anybody else is talking about Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds on Fight Pass. I want to see how many people are using this hashtag. And the answer is 0. I'm also looking at Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds as hashtag on Twitter, 0. Now, granted, Jiu-Jitsu people may not be the most verbose people on Twitter. So I'm looking to see a little bit of everything. The one that's the most consistent thus far in is CJJW. And that is the one that the official Fight Pass is using. So CJJW is the hashtag that people are using the most, apparently. What is up, Real Fiamma? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Enjoying that. What is up, Daniel Fu? BJJ Academy sent a request to be in your live video. So, bro, I'm actually on 2 different broadcasts right now, so I do not have the ability to do both of these. So you would be on the Instagram, but not on the other broadcast that's going to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all that stuff. So thank you. Always up for having people, guests, come in on the show and split with us. So why don't we do another one in the future? Plus, you're a great person. I enjoy you. But I just didn't want to ignore it without being able to give context as to why. Because not a dick. All right, talk to me, people. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Some of you got this right. I'm going to look through. I'm going to give you guys some notifications as to who sent me these predicaments and actually got it right in just a moment. But before I do that, what are you feeling? The people who are watching right this second, what are you thinking? Because y'all are the people I take care of first. In a few minutes, once this is all done, I'll talk to the people who are back online. We'll have a nice conversation. It'll be great. But when commercials are happening and I've got some time to kill, it's a good opportunity for me to check in on our friends and our fans. So who do you see winning this thing now? Do you see Keith? Do you see Nate? Do you see Damien? Do you see Ethan? Let's review some facts. Keith is a former champion of this. Ethan, if I remember correctly, is a champion of overtime. He actually beat Keith for that overtime title. Stuff to consider. Damien Anderson has not won one of these things yet. However, training with some of the best in the country and has elevated his game in a very fast amount of time. Nathan Orchard, a standard. One of the most exciting people in the world. There's been talk that Nathan Orchard can make it to the finals. And he's alluded to this as much, where he gets so close but doesn't win the big dance. I think it's part of the narrative. I get that that's something that maybe is in his head, or maybe some people have said over the years. But if you've ever seen Nathan Orchard compete, you know he's just a really good competitor. So I don't know that you can make that sort of comparison. But if you're him and you haven't won the thing, you know what this means for him to be able to say that he finally brought it home for this variation. And now there's EBI, there's all these different competitions that have returned back. So while he's won other things and done some incredible things elsewhere, sometimes it's hard for them to get over that. What is up, Jiu-Jitsu? What is up, IGND FRVR? Is that I grind forever? Is that I grind forever? I don't know how to say that one. Either way, thank you for joining us. Anyways, y'all the best. We're having a good time. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. I don't know who's going to win this one, y'all. Krikorian? Nathan Orchard? It's a good match. It's really fucking good. It's going to be really difficult to say who we all think is going to win, because we have love and appreciation for just about everybody involved still. So you aren't going to want to go anywhere. You're going to want to stay on this. You're going to want to make sure that you're watching this. And you're probably not going to want to listen to that Eddie Bravo podcast. I don't think it'll be that good. Just going to speak from the experience, I guess. There's a podcast called Look Into It. And they're like, hey, are you somebody who doesn't like politics? Look at this shit. This is dumb. They're also doing some plugs from International Fight Week. So in case you guys want to go out there and cheer on your favorite UFC stars, go on out to International Fight Week. One of the craziest fucking weeks in the UFC possible. I always wanted to do like a knockoff of International Fight Week, but like make it as important as possible. But like a verbal tap version of it, which would just be like, it's National Fight Week. That's what we should do. I should talk to Kevin about that. Be like, I'm tired of these people who don't love America. Thank you. Yeah, I think we should be coming up on semifinals next. Then it's the special match. And I thought friend of the show was gonna have a combat jiu-jitsu special match, but I guess that fell through, so maybe they aren't having it with them. Either way, keep abreast of it all. Lots of stuff still coming down the pipeline. Damien Anderson coming out first. Did I do one for Nathan Orchard? Okay, yeah, I haven't done one for Nathan Orchard. Let's do that one real quick so we're on task. All right, this toast goes on out to Nathan Orchard. Nathan, that transition. Good Lord. Looking from closed guard, open guard, whatever you want to call it. But that transition that happens when you're able to take something so effortlessly and make an armbar from closed guard happen. Chef's kiss. Always good work. Appreciate your work. You and Keith is going to be a fun one to watch in the semis. Cheers to you, sir. Much love for you, brother. Also, it looked really, ouch. Heavy on the ouch. I'll put that out there. All right, Ethan, Damien, giving you guys a look at how sometimes things could be going in the B team danger room. So, Ethan, looking to try and knock down Damien here. as Damien was initiating part of that scrap, and he's going to retake part of the leg. Damien coming in, attacking Ethan's leg, not getting much for it. And you're going to see if Ethan's wrestling is going to pay off. It's going to be the Nicky Rod Olympics happening right here. Ethan has a grip on the back, starts to drag him down. He might be a little too high, but he does get him down. This is going to be bad news here if Damien is not able to transition out very quickly. Stop going to the crane. God damn it. This crane shot, whoever has been timing it, has been the bane of my existence. Damien in on a guillotine here. For a split second, Ethan very much had control of it. 8:44 left to go. Who's switching this? God damn it. Don't go to the dude who's falling. The cameraman who's falling, they're like, that's a good shot to cut to. And you have Ethan in mount. No strikes are being thrown at this particular moment, but now he's switching to an arm lock, but it's a Kimura trap, so there could be more here. Damien putting a lot of pressure down on the legs that will stop the full extent of the momentum of that Kimura trap from happening, but now there is an armbar in position with the triangle in play, and I would tell you more here, but there is an armbar. It does look like Ethan is going to get that one, so congratulations are in order for him. Unlike Jiu-Jitsu memes, who said it was going to be Damien Anderson. Let's put that on record. Jiu-Jitsu memes got that one wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Anyway, Ethan Crelinsten looking good against Damien Anderson. Not a single slap was thrown. We'll see if that's the case here with Nathan Orchard and Keith Krikorian. I suspect they're going to keep it a little bit more of a jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu match. But we'll see. All right. Ethan Crelinsten, Damien Anderson, hug it out. Lots of competition between those guys in the B team room. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, let's do the cheers right now. This cheers goes on out to Ethan Crelinsten. Congratulations to you. That armbar looked great. I know it's hard to do that sort of armbar on one of your training partners in such a high-level competition. You both want to win, but there can only be one of you that wins. Here's the thing I want to point out, though. Didn't Craig Jones say he was putting a bounty out on whoever would tap one of you? And did not one of you just get tapped? So, hear me out. Does Craig Jones not have to pay you because you did tap out somebody from B team? Here's the best part about Craig Jones' contracts. He can pretend that it's null and void, but the streets will remind him that is not exactly how that works. So, in essence, I think that Craig Jones might have to pay you $1,500 because you did beat a B team member. Smarts. Cheers to you, Ethan. Get that money. Secure the bag. All right. Keith Krikorian coming out like he just got scolded at the principal's office right now. About to take on Nathan Orchard, who, with prayer hands, out like a true samurai, walking out to the admiration of the many people who are there. They give each other a nice hug exchange at the very beginning. This is interesting, you know. This has been something that people have wanted to see. They've always wondered how these guys compete and train together. I think the difference is because they've both hold different parts of the 10th Planet banner under their respective jiu-jitsu competition careers. For example, Keith is very much the current modern standard of jiu-jitsu. However, Nathan Orchard is not by any means or approaches out to pasture. Orchard has been such a massive part of the jiu-jitsu scene, not only in competition, not only in major competition, but in some of the most spectacular displays on the EBI and combat jiu-jitsu stages. So to see Keith right now looking to secure some kind of choke from up top, he is past the legs with 9:11 left to go on that clock. He's going to have a little bit of time to play here. So we'll see how he's able to contain Orchard and try to make the most of this situation. If you know Keith, he can be deadly from this position. He's quite good at a number of Kimuras, but he's even better with a number of different Darce opportunities. We just saw in his last match against Jordan Holy that he was able to make some real tough shit happen. But Orchard doing some evasive maneuvers, maybe giving up his back to Keith, just getting out of it short. He's maybe going to take this opportunity to get out of this, but Keith recalibrates, gets the body back, and now is going to work with maybe just off to the side of him with some back attacks here. If any of you have ever taken a Keith Krikorian seminar, you know that it is detailed and you have seen him work positions that at times can be similar to this. Keith is using this opportunity to take that body triangle to get closer and inch up bit by bit more on Nathan Orchard. This is a rear naked choke. It is pretty solid. I think Orchard may have to be checkmated here, but Orchard letting people know he's okay. And yeah, he asked if he could slam him off, and he does backpack his way essentially out of it. Keith had to eat that one, but here's the good news. Still has the body triangle on Nathan Orchard right now. Yikes. Oof. What is up, Joanna Rodriguez? Hope you're doing well. Eek. Not the way I was hoping that was going to go. Eye gouge, like we learned last week. Jeezy, you're fucking crazy, brother. Oh, my God. Here's what's interesting about this match. It's only less than 3 minutes into it, and you've already had the backpack dump from Nathan Orchard that he thought would maybe get Keith off of his back. And yet, here you have Keith, one of the best EBI overtime practitioners, not just in 10th Planet, but I would dare say all active competitors. And yep, slides him back in. Beautiful transition back into that body lock triangle. This is not fun to be in. However, as you guys know, if Keith keeps him here the whole time, it's okay. The problem is that you do need to submit Nathan Orchard, as we just saw from that last exchange. Doing that can sometimes be a harder task than advertised. So it's my hope that Keith Krikorian is able to finesse this and come up with a new strategy. Taking the back, watching the way that Orchard very systematically gets out of each of these positions. Very tactical, very smart. He's using that stone cold stunner escape. But as he does that, he does have the shoulders to the mat. He does come inside of the guard of Keith Krikorian. So now he is throwing some slaps down on Keith Krikorian. Interesting. I was wondering if that was going to be the case. Keith now coming up on top. I think Keith has gotten to the point where he said, oh, so we're throwing slaps now, huh? What's up, Mike John? What's up, Ed Perez? Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Well, if there was a gentleman's agreement, that might have just come out the window. Nathan Orchard looking to take kind of a Kimura trap grip, looking for an armbar. Keith up top switches the position. Now is just going to have to contend. Orchard trying to slap his way into it. I think understands he might be a little under duress. Keith using this opportunity to maybe either attack that arm into an armbar, but comes up right on top, slips down. Beautiful, beautiful snag of that leg. However, this is not where you want to be with Nathan Orchard. His guard is exceptional. So if I'm Keith, I'm probably trying to break open this guard, but you might be a little tired from the transitions that were just happening right then and there. So difficult to say. It says, yo, went out the window after the slam. Maybe. Orchard going in tight. He knows that he's got Keith in a bad spot. He's attacking that arm. If he can pry that arm open, he might be able to submit Keith. He's very close here on a couple occasions, and Keith trying to reach the arm back does give a tap. And unfortunately, that will end the run for Keith Krikorian right now. So, understandably, You just asked jiu-jitsu memes. Did Damien or Ethan slap each other? No, they did not. But I don't know what Keith we're seeing right now. I don't know if that's a Keith that's disappointed in the result or more so disappointed in the fact that, yeah, it is a competition stage and Orchard basically did go into do what you need to do mode to advance. And I think part of that is the idea of, all right, well, we were slapping and we did break part of that agreement. I can't get a good read. And Keith is somebody who does take his losses hard. I do know that. It's just, it is part of the game. Oh, man. Because I think part of me is wondering, okay, Keith potentially, in my estimation, I don't know if you guys feel differently, you take the combat element out of this, the back slam, all of that sort of stuff. Jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu, could Keith have beaten him? Maybe. But I very much profess, you put Keith in a number of situations, he's one of the best in the world, but that even looks like it's a wrist lock too from that as well. From that position, if you are Nathan Orchard, you get somebody in a closed guard, I don't care who that person is, it is a very difficult day at the office for them. And it's hard because you think when you pass, you take somebody down, you get inside of their closed guard, you tend to be in a pretty good spot when you're on top. Nathan Orchard, not necessarily the case. Nathan Orchard, you're inside of his guard. You know, you're not as safe as you would be for a number of other people. But yeah, I would have to agree with what Mike John said, which is that went out the window with that back slam. You could actually go back. You could see the moment that Nathan Orchard asked the referee, can I do this? And he's like, yeah, do what you want, man. You could see Beltran being like, I mean, if you want to, bro, I don't know how you guys are going to be boys after this, but eek. God damn it, indeed. I'll tell you this, though. Keith has won it before, so I don't feel bad in that regard. I would tell you, what's up, Chris? I would tell you, though, he had a great run as well. You know, it's whoever is winning that match just has a very tough match with Ethan Crelinsten. It's not a guarantee. This is a very, very tough part when you get all the way down. And I had postulated a little bit earlier in the show. I said, you know, are we going to see a lot of combat jiu-jitsu, especially when you get two affiliations that have two representatives that have to fight it out to see who gets in the finals? At the very least, Orchard honored the part of the combat jiu-jitsu part of this broadcast, this show, this tournament, because there was a fear that it wouldn't happen. And we see that a lot of people from similar affiliations. We saw it on one side of the bracket. The other side, maybe for 4 minutes, Orchard was like, I don't know about that. And then when you saw that happen, he was like, I'm kind of losing this match. And it is combat jiu-jitsu. I do want to win. And I can't fault him for that. So that's the part I think is difficult to take in. And of course, Keith is a friend of the show. He will always be a friend of the show. And it should never be in doubt how good he is. But yeah, that is how rough that bracket can teach you. Man. All right. Ben Eddy, Orlando, versus each other right now in a special match, aka the match that gives our semifinalists some time to rest. And I got to tell you, if you are Ethan Crelinsten, you're feeling pretty good right now because you have the extra special amount of time. And you just saw, what is this? Orlando pushing Ben Eddy right now. So in a similar way that we've mentioned this for Nathan Orchard, Ben Eddy is also a similar enigma, which is, yeah, you want to take him down, but you don't want to go into that closed guard. You want to go immediately to stapling something so you can pass. And while these shrug of shoulders in this kind of wrestling and jostling want to be just short of getting a takedown, look at this. Straight into a takedown. Now, already into a triangle. Ben Eddy, among one of the best, using that arm to make life even worse. And that's going to be a wrap here, my friends. Woo! Ben Eddy. It's a difficult task. You think you're getting a takedown. You think you're doing well in jiu-jitsu. And to his credit, Ben Eddy on the feet, I thought looked much better than I've seen him. Way more aggressive. So that was a plus. But yeah, you think when wrestling, you get the takedown, that you've done something good. Not the case with Ben Eddy. You can't just live off of that. So, eek. Anyway, we have some cheers to catch up on. We got to do one for Nathan Orchard. All right. This cheers goes on out to Nathan Orchard. Orchard, man, what can I say about you? Keith Krikorian's a tough fucking role, man. We all know that. And you did what you had to do to advance. But man, it was violent. It was aggressive. And I never envy anybody who ends up in your guard. You just know what to do. It's classic. It's timeless. And was it a wrist lock? Because it also, like a triangle, no part of it looked good. Triangle, arm, wrist lock. All of it looks terrible to have to deal with. But either way to you. Cheers to you, sir. Excellent. Can't wait to see what you do in the finals. While we're at it, we have to do one for Ben Eddy. This cheers goes on out to Ben Eddy. Hey, man, I appreciate that you looked way more aggressive on the feet. A lot of people won't say much about your wrestling. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. But when I saw you going out there, pushing the action, getting some good looks on the feet, when that man goes for a takedown, I know things aren't going to go well once he ends up in a closed guard. You got a great way about finishing people. It's really sick. And I'm going to be honest, it looked effortless. So cheers to you, sir. All right. I assume they're going to go to a package to show off their last set of commercials. TJ DeSantis actually has just made his way to the mats, but I don't know exactly what's being said. So I'm going to have to turn up. All right. They're doing dumb bullshit. So this is all plugging the event, just saying we've seen some massive shit here tonight, including the knockout ever. I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know why we need to talk about the finale other than giving people time. But okay. I like we're talking about what the data showed. So we're waiting for them to get to whatever purpose this discussion is. This is what we know in the business is a vamp. They said, go kill some time. We don't want to run the commercials. Eek. What's up, Grapple? Good to see you, brother. So I mentioned EBI is back. All right. EBI, October 23rd, and it is an absolute category. And there's a Medusa the day before. So there's going to be open qualifier in Texas. It's going to be taking place in Texas in case you missed that. and December show. Combat Jiu-Jitsu Team Duel. All right, so same weight on that Team Duel. 155 CJJ. Okay. So that's the information we have. Hold on. Look at that. They just announced their team. All right, I'm done with that conversation. All right, here's what I can tell you. There's going to be a Team 10th Planet, Team Entrab, Gracie Barra, and Alpha Male. Each team is sending a 155 representative or series of representatives because Eddie says he doesn't want to just make it so it's all around. However, that is going to be in their December card. It's going to be headlined by Uriah Faber versus Elias Anderson, which is going to be great. And then he also announced the people who are going to be on that Team 10th Planet team for that Combat Jiu-Jitsu teams event. It's going to be Ben Eddy, Keith Krikorian, Nathan Orchard, Mike John, and a fifth slot that somebody is going to have to qualify for, presumably through the normal 10th Planet qualifiers process. So there's that. What's up, Jason Miley, 10P? Good to see you. Andrew Packus, I don't know that I said hello to you. Mike John was actually just in the room a few minutes ago on our Instagram, so there is that. Good Lord. That's what we got going on our side. So hopefully, you guys will be paying attention to those things as well. Got mad love for you guys who are playing along with us, watching, doing the things here on the social media with us. It is so far a pretty good day for us here on the grappling side. They're actually showing some footage from what it was like back at Texas the last time. That was Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan. That was a hell of a match. I was actually there for that one live. But they're showing Kyle Bain, Nick Rodriguez. Is that for the absolutes? Huh. Be interesting to see if that actually sticks all the way through. Fatima Klein, our girl, coming back from Medusa, it would appear. Oh, we just lost our camera. 1 second. When we lose one of our videos, it is hard to keep things going, so my apologies. Let me just get off the air to do that. Fatima Klein coming back, though. One of the best in the world. Love that girl. She's aggressive and a true MMA star. But seeing her back at Medusa makes all the sense in the world. Appreciate her for doing what she does. And they're actually showing what it's like to be at a Planet Hollywood and enjoy a vacation of some sort. All right, we're back on air. Apologies for that, my friends. Took a second. There was a spill, but we came back stronger for it. Terrible. Are we talking about terrible for me? Or terrible for just in general? Sometimes things happen on live air, guys. You got to be used to it. You got to be ready for it. And I was. All things considered, we were able to do that. I should mention this. Next week, I'm actually going to be over with our good friends over at Subversive Jiu-Jitsu. That's going to be happening at Commerce Casino. I hope to see you guys there. We got a lot of really good matches that are going to be happening there. It says yes, and the camera. Well, the camera stayed up. It was more so I said camera, but it's actually the viewing lens that we watched the show off of. So our broadcast stream went down. I was like, oh shit, no. Anyway. Check this out. Planet Hollywood, if you ever want to go, look at this video. Tells you all the fun you can have. Womp womp. All right, my friends, talk to me. Who do you have taking this? Do you have Ethan or do you have Nathan Orchard? Big question. The question of the day so far. And I'm getting asked, what? This is the 9th commercial I've seen for Death Count. A movie I pretty much won't see, but I wish them well. I hope it does well. I just like the fact that Death Count is given so much endorsement money to this thing. Like, I want to see the analytics that show, no, we have a crossover appeal. The same people who like combat jiu-jitsu are going to like Death Count. That's why we're going to market it on this show. So, there's that. Do you guys notice this on the broadcast? Anytime I bring the hands in like this on the Instagram, I don't get washed out, but any other time, so it's like it needs my hands to calibrate. But not just one, has to be both. Things that we learn. All right, we did toast for Orchard. You said Orchard, but I don't think it'll be easy. I don't know, man. I love Orchard. He is a friend of the show. I've got to say, I think it's actually going Ethan's way, man. Ethan is one of those people who is hyper dangerous in a number of situations. Arguably one of the most, you can't even say underrated. He's very rated, but he's come back from injury. Obviously that's problematic, but when you see him compete like he's competing tonight, it doesn't look like it's even a huge problem for him. All right. Appreciate the conversation. Keep it going, you guys. As a reminder, if you want to support us, all you have to do, go over to hy.page/grappling hour. If you want to become a member, we have 2 different packages, a $5 package for early access. You can see all of our interviews. That's right. All of our interviews 30 days before they go up to everybody on our YouTube page, as well as becoming a subscriber for $10 for our premium package, which gives you new episodes, minisodes, tape study episodes, as well as some additional features, including vlogs. We just put up a vlog of me going to visit Andrew Wiltsey seminars and a vlog of checking out not 1, but 2 nights of AEW Pro Wrestling action. So I would love it if you guys become subscribers. It would mean the world to me. Your support keeps this show running strong and different than everybody else's. Because if you ask me, everybody else's show, exactly the same. Just saying. Looks very, very similar. So, that's what I got going on. I'm going to check again to see. Not much on the Twitter side. I'll do another check here in a moment to see if I missed anything on the other side, but I don't think we did. I think for the most part, it's been a quiet night of interest in this one. Finals about to go down with Ethan Crelinsten versus Nathan Orchard. Join us and watch along. Bam. Reshared. Whew. It's a long day, guys. We've been doing this shit forever, and we are just about to be done here. But I hope that you don't plan to go anywhere. I hope you plan to watch it all the way through, because this last match or so, it's going to be good. Like I said, we had some discussion a little bit between who we think is going to win, and some of y'all, especially John Cloud, thought that this is Orchard's to lose. I don't know what I think or feel about that one. Nate Orchard, obviously a friend of the show, but Ethan Crelinsten, always a monster in competition. one of the best out there to do it. Either way, should be a very, very good match. So, about to watch the finals with Crelinsten versus Orchard. Join in. Wah, bam. I would not be surprised at all if Ethan takes it. Yeah, Ethan's scary good, dude. That's why that combination of him, Craig Jones, Damien, Nicky Rod, Nicky Ryan, like, it's a very dangerous team. Hard to describe the full power of what those guys can do, but it is very impressive. And I think we're probably on the tail end of their vamp. So they should be getting in with something very, very soon. Waiting for these last few commercials to air so that we can get to the finals. And you know what? Call it a day. That's the nice part about these tournaments now. Back in the day for EBI, woo, you might be there for a day and a half. But now with this, come on. It's almost like a one and done very quickly. But we're about to get there. And you guys, you're not going to want to go anywhere. We're probably waiting for the end of this. Eddie Bravo has a podcast, and it probably makes a record for the most misinformation there could possibly be on a show. But if you're into that sort of a thing, A+ to you. We're the Galactic Fight Club. What the fuck? Since launching in 2021. We have partnered with... Okay. So, Galactic Fightwear. Nah, I'm good. Nope, we still got more commercials. Womp womp. I will ask this to anybody who is watching in the comment sections. If you guys have heard anything that's going on at IBJJF Worlds, I'll take that. What is up, Low Life? Good to see you. And it said it's that mullet thing on his head that gives him his powers. Everybody has a different thought as to what's giving Ethan Crelinsten or Nathan Orchard powers. Don't forget, Nathan Orchard had one of the best mullets and mohawks of all time. Orchard's hair is it's a time lapse of its own life. So tired, yo. This is what happens when you train. You get all fucking exhausted and you do one of these. You are, by the time this thing gets down to its last thing, so we started this at what? 3:40 or so. So this isn't even one of our longer broadcasts. It's just the time that we spend doing out of turn commercials makes this thing tiring. All right, we're back. We should be at the finals right about now. So don't go anywhere, my friends. This is your championship match. And whoever wins, we will send an invite out to be interviewed by the show. Because we do that sort of a thing. I didn't see anybody else interview Alan Sanchez after he won. We did. It's still the early access members of Grappling Hour at hi.page/Grappling Hour. But if you guys want to watch it, you can go check it out. And you don't want to pay any money, just wait for, I think it's like the middle of the month. That'll go up. So I think somewhere around June 12th or so. Nathan Orchard making his way out, letting people know, hey man, can he win the big dance? That is a phraseology that he has definitely thought about and said out loud here on our show. Of course, he's a beast, excellent practitioner, but he definitely wants to win a tournament like this. And it says, Galvo won against Rutolo. That was a good match. Damn, man. I was hoping that Rutolo would win that one, but Micah Galvo is just a different level right now. Good for him. All right, we're about to see the finals of Combat Jiu-Jitsu. If you're watching along with us, what's up, Dusty Wang? Appreciate you. Here we go. You're seeing over here, Orchard played a little slow. Ethan pulling down, no doubt, some of the work that he's doing, getting in more wrestling with Nicky Rod. He has a single leg. It was a snatch single leg, already working to take the back. Granby roll out of it, but guess what? Might be giving up the back right now. What is up, Sam? Not only does he take the back for a split second, Orchard evasive maneuvers out of it, and Crelinsten now doing his best to start to surf the top on a pass. I cannot see what's going on because there are strikes being thrown and they're going to a crane shot. Fucking crane shot. Death of this broadcast. Every time they go to a crane shot, it's when something significant has been happening on the inside of the action. It's a tight shot you need to see. If you see the dude throwing strikes, you immediately tell them, switch to camera 3. Don't go crane. Good Lord. Crelinsten looked very calm for a split second, but now going straight into those strikes and opening up some opportunities from here. Now, full mount. If he's taking from the Wagner Hocha playbook, he's going to rain down on some slaps from this position. However, I think he may be trying to go to his tired and true, which is potentially taking that back. Michael Courier, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well, brother. Ethan Crelinsten grabbing that arm, gift wrap. And that's a great choice because that allows a slap in this opportunity. And guess what? It's very difficult to argue you are defending yourself unless you're moving from the bottom half of your body. You're seeing a little bit of attempts from this position to maneuver a little bit of that weight to be shifted off of you, but it is damn impossible to keep that from happening for the entire match. Ethan, maybe he shifts between thinking about maybe a head and arm and a back attack here. Stop switching to the fucking crane. Yeah, I'll even take this fucking up out of focus shot. That's fine. Yeah, Ethan's going to probably get a stoppage. With the amount of strikes that Orchard is not being able to respond to here, I think he's going to want to try and make a statement. I think he's going to try and stay on this. Because I get the impression he knows he could potentially submit him with that gift wrap. But look at how he's not remotely trying to transition out of this position. This is what happens when people have watched your other matches and they know, okay, this is a deficiency. If I can replicate it, I'm going to try. You add that with the fact that Crelinsten himself is somebody who, oh God, is that like a full Nelson? Yeah. Oh God, a full Nelson and the slap. See, again, if you're thinking about getting the submission, you probably would just put all the pressure off of that. But you could tell he's trying to, as much as he's thinking about going into that rear naked choke, which you know he can do, he's very much being like, I want to get a submission stop here. If it's somebody who's not in that realm of playing in MMA or actually fights in MMA, this is your opportunity to really show your artistry as a combat specialist. So I could see the appeal of it. It's just, we could be going home already right now. 6:03. And I would argue this. If you're Crelinsten, as good as you are at overtime, we don't need to do that, dude. All right. Yeah. I mean, if you ever want to start a conspiracy theory, there's one conspiracy theory you could start here, which is that, yeah, they're actually going to much more unfavorable shots for the broadcast so that you don't see how hard Nathan Orchard is getting hit. Ugh. It's hard to watch, man, because, listen, Nathan Orchard, again, one of the best in the world. Ethan Crelinsten is a monster. His jiu-jitsu is fantastic. And if you get somebody who's that good of a practitioner in that spot, you're mostly just gritting and taking a terrible spot for a long period of time. And it's not something that you want to see in a match for 10 minutes. Like, Jesus Christ. And if you're Orchard, you don't want to get finished like this again. It's just the options are very limited because every time he seems to threaten, there's an armbar here. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Oh. But bad news, that gave him part of the escape. Except Orchard might be, I don't want to say he's on Dream Street, but he's definitely in the realm of, fuck, dude, I can't get this guy off of me. even when he gets some distance, it's not enough to actually implement a full escape out of this point. Now Ethan, at 420, thought about going for that head and arm. Orchard uses an opportunity to kind of push him off, but I think he's kind of exhausted. Ethan very wisely gets out of that full guard opportunity. Orchard tries his best to regard very quickly, does not get it. What's up, 10th Planet? Bombano? I don't know how to say her name. Sorry, apologies. I have been drinking. 3:53 left to go. Questionable slap on the back of the head. If you're Ethan, you probably start thinking it's time to take him home. So now you'll notice slaps are a little bit less. Nathan did do a good job of fending off part of that body triangle at the very beginning, but watch how Ethan is probably going to switch to getting this finish. Yep, body triangle in. That's going to give him a lot of time to work that arm coming back over his head, which is going to take it away from doing a 2-on-1. Ethan has a grip. There's going to be nothing but just force, and he does get the tap. And Nathan Orchard is exhausted. You hate to see it for Nathan Orchard, just given what a lovable and great competitor he is. But there's no denying how great Ethan Crelinsten is. He's deserved this for a long time. And it is one of those things that it is very good to see him get a win on such a big stage like this. Doctors are coming to check in on Nathan Orchard. Eddie's coming to see if his boy's all right. Both the gentlemen exchange a nice little hug, and Orchard just tugs him around for a split second. But we're about to see the crowning of Nathan Orchard, as Ethan Crelinsten, as your combat jiu-jitsu champion. We're actually going to hear what he has to say in just a second. I'm intrigued to hear if TJ actually ends up asking him if it was more important to make a statement through getting strike finishes than it was ending it via submissions, because we're hearing that is the voice of Brandon McCatherine. They're doing a quick photo opportunity. Ethan is all smiles. This is also a huge win if you consider this, that Ethan Crelinsten coming back from an injury, making it in a huge way, making that big ability to show people what he is made out of. What's up, Shab? But yes, they are mentioning his dominant positional work. You have to agree with them. Just the whole thing was just an excellent exhibition for Ethan Crelinsten. All right. TJ DeSantis now talking with Ethan Crelinsten. We'll see what he has to say. Ethan says it was a good night. He wanted to wrestle and stay on top. He then made it important for Master Vic to get him a cowboy hat. I think he was joking and said that the Damien match was the easiest match of his life, and I think that was just a trash talk opportunity. But he said, obviously, you're going to see a lot more coming out from Damien Anderson in the future. Ethan Crelinsten says he wants to get thrown into Absolute. And, yep, now he's taking the time to, just kind of display the championship and do his thing. Hard to argue with that. That was an incredible performance. from Ethan Crelinsten. Start to finish, just really good work. Excellent jiu-jitsu. And very surprising combat jiu-jitsu strikes from him as well. Let's do a couple recap things before we sign off here. As a reminder, tomorrow we will have interviews with Andrew Wiltsey going up. And then we also have, I think, an interview with our good friend Aaron McKenzie going up on Wednesday. So that is for our early access subscribers. Tuesday, you guys will see a 10-minute preview of both of those interviews. So what we're doing on our show now is we are giving away the first 10 minutes of our hour-long interviews for free. If you want to see them before anybody else, we ask that you go to our hy.page/grappling hour page. And all you have to do is become a member. We have 2 subscription tiers. The first is early access. If you want to see it before anybody else, you pay $5. If you want to see the additional bonus content, meaning the premium content that we do with tape studies with our friends and fighters and combat jiu-jitsu and jiu-jitsu practitioners, where we watch matches with them and learn the techniques that help them get their wins, or you want to see minisodes of our conversations with friends like Drew Dober or Gary Tonin, where we ask them about the opponents they respected the most, or, and maybe in some cases, you want to see some of the dumb shit that I'm doing. There have been some vlogs that are specific to only the experiences that I have, so you'll get to see not only the excursions I do to shows and different little places that I go to on my own, some of my training, but also, stay with me here, also, you get to see some of the stuff I help produce. So next week, I'm going to be working over at Subversive Jiu-Jitsu. It's going to be a fantastic team grappling event. Some real big names are associated on this one. So if you guys really love jiu-jitsu and team grappling, I know that I do, this 3 versus 3 format is an 8 bracketed tournament. So you won't want to miss it. Really great stuff. I'm not on the sticks on that one. I'm not commentating that one, but I'll be behind the scenes. So if you are a premium subscriber, I'm going to show you a little bit of a peek as to what's going on behind the scenes. So that's the kind of stuff you can expect from the Grappling Hour premium membership. And if you don't have that money, and I understand sometimes you don't, what's up, Gifted Grape Green? We always ask that you guys just wait the 30 days for the regular interviews. The 1-hour interviews, they're pretty good. But the extra stuff I'm doing, like, for example, Gabe Green, he's in here. He just did a breakdown of his most recent UFC fight, and it's phenomenal. I learned so much shit. And you wouldn't think of some of the things or the stories that you hear behind the scenes, but getting to hear the athletes talk us through their journey and tell us what it was they were going through and what you can learn or ascertain for your own journeys or experiences, it's very cool and very telling. So, Kelvin, appreciate you. The Texas Zombie, look at this. You got the Texas Zombie. Texas is going to be coming up big because Texas is going to get the very next EBI opportunity, I believe. And then you've also got Combat Jiu-Jitsu making a big splash with team grappling, but team Combat Jiu-Jitsu grappling, which to my knowledge, I think is the first time I've seen this, the Texas Zombie. So just saying, if you guys are showing up for that and you want to see those things, appreciate you, Cody. Appreciate all of you guys getting all these opportunities. What is up, Giant Meme? Appreciate you guys through the muck and the mire. That is a hell of a fucking Instagram name. The people who show up toward the ends of these broadcasts always surprise me when I see their names pop up. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. It has been a phenomenal day for grappling. I have appreciated everybody who stopped in, said hello, dropped us some notes. As a reminder, you can always catch me coaching over at Mama Academy. That is Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Drop on in. Send me a note if you want to come train. Happy to have you and host you, especially when you're out in Southern California. I pride myself on being an ambassador of Los Angeles Jiu-Jitsu. All right, friends. I think that's going to do it for us here at the Grappling Hour. It has been a great day for grappling. We will, I promise you, we will see you back on the mats. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Peace.